channel. Today, Apple Card and Goldman Sachs are in the news for pretty much some of the wrong reasons. They are accused of gender discrimination in their credit card algorithm. So, so recently Apple have announced their own credit card in the United States a few months ago, selling the ability to help people keep track of their spending while protecting their privacy. Right now, people are calling out Apple and Goldman Sachs, which is their credit card partner, about giving women significantly lower credit limits than their partners without a valid reason. It all started with an angry tweet, since led to a state New York inquiry. So this is a bit about Apple Card. It's like a credit card, but doesn't have your card number or CVV on it. But you just need to have the app and with your fingerprint or facial recognition, just to use it to buy anything on the internet or in stores. So let's get to the tweet. So last week, this entrepreneur in the US has strong words about Apple, saying it's effing sexist program. His wife and himself filed joint tax return, live in a community property estate, and have been married for a long time. Yet Apple black box algorithm thinks I deserve 20 times the credit limit she does. No appeals work. I'm surprised they even let her apply for the card without the signed approval of her spouse. I mean, can you really trust women with credit card these days? Ooh, okay. Looks like there's a bit of I don't know, a hole in Apple's approach when it comes to customer service. So he says he called to Apple's card customer service frustrating, saying there was no ability to discuss the credit assessment process or to provide evidence. Okay, this is strange. A day later, after his tweet gone viral, Mr. Hansson said that Apple Card had bumped up his wife credit limit just to match his. But he said that they were told by Apple Card representative that it wasn't discrimination, that it was just an algorithm, that his wife should check her credit score, implying it was less than his. Mr. Hansson said they just that, and they just didn't help. So the second rep went on about how she couldn't actually access the real reasoning. Again, this is just an algorithm is implied, but then revealed that my wife really should have checked her credit score. Again, implying that it was less than mine. That's why even named TransUnion to check it. So obviously we're both frustrated signing up for a effing 25 a month credit card bullshit smackdown that is TransUnion. Maybe someone stole my wife's identity, even though we're verified there was nothing wrong previously. Guess what? Her credit score was much higher than mine. Oh boy. Looks like Apple needs some work on that, or even Goldman Sachs needs some work on that. I mean, honestly, you got a question about the algorithm. Is it any accurate or well planned out? Because I don't know. So this is not only him. Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, have just joined in the debate. So yeah, even though Mr. Hansson didn't disclose any specific income-related information about his wife, if the algorithm somehow affected Steve Wozniak, which is kind of a mystery, I reckon. So basically, Steve Wozniak said he and his wife have experienced the same thing. The same thing happened to us. I got 10 times credit limit. We have no separate bank account, no credit cards account, and any separate assets. Hard to get a human for a correction though. It's big tech in 2019. Ooh, that's harsh. So he said that despite the fact that they share the same limit on their other cards, during an interview with Bloomberg, Mr. Wozniak said there wasn't enough strong regulation or enough I know, transparency of how these companies set these things up and operate. Now, the woman at the center of the controversy has commented. She said in a blog post she cared about digital privacy. She was deeply annoyed by the situation, given that she had a higher credit score than her husband. So I am a carer. I was accessible prior of meeting David. While I am a mother of three children, a homemaker. This is what I'm focused calling myself on tax return. I'm still a millionaire who contributes greatly to my household and pay off credit in full each month. So even though this issue didn't affect her livelihood, but it could affect others like her. It's a matter for women struggling to start a business in the world that still seem to think women can't be successful or creditworthy as men. It matters to the wife trying to get out of an abusive relationship. It matters to minorities harmed by institutional bias. Oh my gosh. Apple. Yeah, some serious problems about this. Oh my gosh. There is something rotten about Apple to a core, I reckon, of their algorithm, I would say. And Miss Hansson said that the fact her credit limit has been raised after the viral tweet without proper explanation. I want to raise another question. This is not merely a story about sexism and credit algorithm black boxes, uh, but about how rich people nearly always get their way. Justice for another rich white woman is not justice for all. Okay, that's a good point. So, sexism within the algorithm. Oh my gosh, this is. Oh, now so it looks like we can't entirely blame Apple for this, but usually it would stems to Goldman Sachs. Says its decision is not based on gender. So Apple did not immediately respond to any request for comment, but in email, Goldman Sachs says Apple Card applicants were evaluated independently and according to income and creditworthiness, taking into account factors such as personal credit scores and personal debt. The bank said it was possible for two family members to receive different credit decision. So, it also said we have not and will not make decisions based on factors like gender. Others on Twitter have reported that they haven't experienced any issues. Hmm. Okay, so it was just only them. So okay, so this guy named Satim Mijan said, "Weird. It did happen to us. Both have the same limit." That's Steve replied back. That's great. Who knows what the algorithm is? When you all read the original comments, a lot of ideas don't add up. Clearly, in our case of a human, would take a correct step, but technology is more important than people these days. Okay, I guess it depends on your experience. It could happen badly, or it could happen greatly. But I guess technology doesn't seem to be doing anyone any good favor these days. Not in the slightest. So New York have beginning an inquiry into the credit card practices at Goldman Sachs. So it looks like Goldman Sachs was somewhat to blame, or both parties, like Apple, will be blamed. So the Department of Financial Services, the Wall Street regulator, is now looking to the issue. Linda Lacewell, the superintendent of the department, wrote in a blog post that New York laws prohibits discrimination against protected cases of individuals. She said that the algorithm, like any other method of determining creditworthy, cannot treat people differently based on individual characteristics such as age, creed, race, color, sex, sexual orientation, or national origin. We know the question of discrimination in algorithm decisioning also extend in other areas of financial service, she wrote. Okay, so what you reckon is Apple's algorithm for determining people's credit ratings is somewhat out of whack, or is just something which there's a glitch in their program? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please consider subscribing or give a thumbs up. And yeah, thank you for watching.